Offense, that's an important part of a successful soccer team. Number 15, Mark Moser of the St. Louis Ambush knows about offense. He's the 7th leading scorer in the National Professional Soccer League and leads his team in scoring. The fans know who to watch. Watch Mark Moser. He's on a 21-game goal-scoring streak that will most likely continue tonight. Defense might need a little of that too. How about Jamie Swanner in goal? He's a 2-time NPSL MVP and a 5-time NPSL Goalkeeper of the Year. Tonight, the Kansas City Attack will get to know this face very well. From the Kiel Center in St. Louis, it's Ambush Soccer next on Prime. St. Louis Ambush Soccer is brought to you by Beechwood Age Budweiser. It's always been true, this Bud's for you. And by your local Shell ETD convenience stores. And by Southwestern Bell Mobile Systems. A cellular phone, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. And by Health South Rehabilitation Center of St. Louis, the official sports medicine provider for the St. Louis Ambush. And by Boatmans, with money market accounts designed to do just one sensible thing, save you money. From the Kiel Center in St. Louis, Missouri, tonight it's the Kansas City Attack and the St. Louis Ambush. Hi everybody, I'm Mike Barrack and welcome to Kiel, alongside former St. Louis Steamer Ty Keough. Ty, very important game here tonight with the Ambush, just a half-game lead over Kansas City in the NPSL's National Division.
It's an important divisional game, and more importantly, this has been a sensational rivalry over the years. Indoor soccer teams from Kansas City and from St. Louis have always battled it out, and it'll be a tough one tonight. This Kansas City Attack team, among the best in the NPSL, and they won the championship 2 years ago.
Well, of course, the fans remember the Steamers and the old MISL. One of the major differences in this league is the scoring system, Ty.
Well, they've innovated just a little bit to make it more exciting for the fans, and it's very similar to NBA basketball or college basketball. The shot from outside now counts for 3 outside that 45-foot arc. 2-point is a regular goal or a penalty kick, and the 1-pointer, something like basketball again, on a free throw situation, a man-up situation, only counts for 1 point.
And when fans see the goalkeeper's goals against averages 10, 11, and 12, it's only because of the scoring system.
Well, the points rack up that much more quickly, but it also means a team that appears to be out of the game could get right back into it if they score a couple of 3-point goals.
Well, we should have a great one here tonight. It's the St. Louis Ambush and the Kansas City Attack. We'll have all the play-by-play coming up in just a moment. Welcome to the Kiel Center in St. Louis, Missouri, where tonight the Kansas City Attack take on the St. Louis Ambush. And we should be in for a great one, Ty Keough, here tonight. A half game separating the Ambush and the Kansas City Attack.
We mentioned the rivalry. St. Louis on top of this national division. Kansas City in second, right hot on their heels. In fact, both these teams have already clinched a playoff spot, but they're still battling it out for the #1 championship in the national division.
One advantage for the Ambush of 5 games at hand over Kansas City. And at the All-Star break, when they finish up next week, the Ambush will have had 6 fewer games than Kansas City, and that will be a big factor later on as we go towards the stretch drive. We're underway here in St. Louis, and immediately the Ambush trying to work it in front, and a shot going up over and into the crowd. Just a total of 13 seconds in time. The Ambush already in the Kansas City territory.
The Ambush went directly into the attack, and they should, because things have been going well for them. 4 straight wins, including last week here against the Milwaukee Wave. A very convincing way they finished that game off.
And the Ambush will set up to the left of the goal as Hundelt leaves it free on the left wing side, and a shot going over top by Steve Maurer right on the pass across into the Kansas City zone.
We mentioned the rivalry between these two teams. This year, the Ambush lead the season series by a record of 3-1, but this goes back many years, including to playoff series 2 years ago, and the Kansas City Attack were the eventual champions of the National Professional Soccer League. As we look at Darryl Duran, the Ambush player, head coach. He's injured right now, so he's focusing on the coaching. He'll be our guest at halftime, so please stand by and listen to hear about Darryl and how soon he's going to come back and join this Ambush team, and he'll definitely strengthen the lineup.
And here we are into the St. Louis zone as the Ambush and the attack. It's Robbie Goff. Leaves it free for his own goalkeeper, Warren Westcote, who just pounds it right back into the St. Louis territory. And now for Kansas City, Goran Hunyak leaves it free for his own defense, and Ian Fraser on the right side for Jeff Rogers. In against the St. Louis defense, and Kevin Hundelt in the foul on the play, and Kansas City will restart it. A quick centering pass, but the shot by Kevin Ketters way up high and up into the stands.
Kevin Ketters, in fact, a St. Louisan who played at Rockhurst College over in Kansas City, and he has now been playing a couple years with the Kansas City Attack. He put that one over the top, but it's usually a good move if you can make a quick restart, try and catch the defense before they've set up out in front. And this Kansas City Attack team, known around the league, not only for quick restarts, but for their speed. Their team speed is excellent, and the Ambush will have to deal with that tonight.
They are second in total goals scored in the league with 476. Quite a bit of offense for the attack, but Joe Reiniger into the Kansas City zone, shoots, rebound, on the save made by the Kansas City goalkeeper Westcote on the rebound in front.
Big
and now
chance.
Kansas City on the attack.
Big chance by Maurer there. He was in the right place. It was a nice save by Westcote.
And John Klein leaves it free for Maurer, in for Joe Reiniger. On the offense, Klein a drive, and the save by Westcote into the Kansas City zone. Finally, it's recovered by the attack, and here is Haynes on left wing. He has a big left shot. Shooting one, blocked off by Gates into the St. Louis territory. Gates able to block it, but leaves it free to the circle area as the shot blocked off for the defense. It was Eddie Carmain who let it fly. Now Carmain into St. Louis territory, leaves it free for Haynes as Kansas City work in the offensive zone. No score, first quarter here in St. Louis. The attack have possession. And here is the player for Kansas City, Goff, trying to work it free. And finally, Swanner himself kicks it up the right side, and Reiniger just plays it right back into Kansas City territory.
Exciting stuff already. The Ambush have had 3 or 4 shots right on target, severely testing Westcote in the goal for Kansas City, but Kansas City on the counterattack have been up having good chances against St. Louis.
So here's a long shot going wide, as earlier St. Louis' Mark Moser was upended. And finally, Kansas City back the other way. No score, first quarter. The attack trying to maneuver free. Wes Wade trying to work it in front. Gates blocks it away. And finally, it squirts free into midfield. No score as mentioned here in the first quarter. St. Louis trailing, or St. Louis up by a half game in the NPSL standings over the attack. And here is Jeff Rogers in against 2 Ambush defenders. Gates is there and leaves it for Swanner as Rogers was taken out by 2 St. Louis defenders.
Typical physical play in the corners. Mark Moser coming back to help defend, and also John Gates there. 2 physical specimens really for the Ambush, just manhandling the attacker for Kansas City.
And St. Louis, Swanner himself kicks it all the way down for Moser. A 21-game goal-scoring streak, turn, shoots, and he just missed, going for the short side. And Kansas City back the other way, and their third leading scorer in the league, Hunyak, on the left side for Tashantret. Trying to maneuver free, blocked off at the last moment, and St. Louis trying to clear it out. Shane Battelle knocked down, and we'll have a restart into the St. Louis zone.
Moser made a nice turn a minute ago to play the ball off the boards. He scored his 10th hat trick of the season recently, so he's definitely been on a tear.
And Swanner able to kick it free up the left side, and Kansas City back after it. Nate Hauser, but a stoppage play, a foul against the Ambush, and a restart into Kansas City territory. 11:05 left in the first quarter. No score here in St. Louis. And as we touched on earlier, the Ambush have beaten Kansas City 3 out of 4 meetings this year. One of the reasons they still lead in the division standings. And now Kansas City in midfield take control. Nate Hauser for Haynes down the left side. As Kansas City set up now in midfield, and it's back for Hauser on the right side. Leads it free to Carmine into the corner now to the left of the St. Louis goal. Jeff Rogers, as the Ambush doing a nice job of keeping it on the perimeter, Ty, and allowing Kansas City no real good scoring chances in front.
Exactly, an important part of this game is team defense, and the Ambush will have to institute some of that. There are 3 scorers for Kansas City in the top 20 in the league. In fact, number 9, Huniak, and number 24, Wes Wade, are number 3 and number 5 in league scoring.
Here's an all-star, Haynes, shooting one, Swanner gets a piece of it and cleared away, but not out, and finally, St. Louis able to work it to midfield. And it's a play now into the midfield area as mentioned, and Maurer able to kick it free. Good save earlier by Swanner on the close-in drive.
Swanner is able to react. He also does not commit early. He waits and then reacts and comes up with the play.
Here's Haynes now in that penalty area, trying to work it free, kick but not out. Haynes knocked down on the play, and St. Louis back the other way. And a break into the midfield area and a chance for St. Louis. Trying to maneuver free is McDaniel. Cross pass across for Chris Kenny, a shot. That going over top of the goal. Kenny trying to maneuver free. It's held in by Trichute for the moment, and finally Kansas City on the attack. Long pass, and the save by Swanner on lead to Chantred. Right in on net. And finally Swanner holds on and leaves it for his own defense.
Swanner cut the angle well there. He timed his move out from the net perfectly. And what's amazing, even more so, is how quickly he gets up after a save.
Here's Wade moving in, shoots Swanner, the save, and cleared away. Wade was right into the St. Louis territory, and again, Swanner was able to get a piece.
You have to have top flight goalkeeping if you're going to be at the top of the division, and both of these teams definitely possess goalkeepers who are up to the task, and we've seen top saves out of both. This is Zoran Savic, the coach for the Kansas City Attack, and he's seen both goalkeepers put in a fine performance so far this evening.
Here's Wade trying to maneuver free, they score. A good scoring chance for Goran Honiak on the setup in front. And with 8:58 left in the first quarter, a 2-0 Kansas City lead.
Clean execution for the Kansas City Attack here on the restart. Up near the top of the arc there, and it's off the toe of Jamie Swanner into the top of the net as he got caught going the wrong way. Goran Huniak, who is the number 3 point getter in all of the National Professional Soccer League, gets credit for that goal, and Wes Wade gets the assist, and Wade is second in the league with 53 assists. Now make that 54 assists. It ties it with Zoran Karic of Cleveland as the league leader in assists.
And Huniak, who scored that goal, he came in as the 3rd leading scorer in the league, the 3rd consecutive season of 100 points. And so St. Louis will have to battle back. They were down 7-2 in their last game against Milwaukee and ended up scoring 17 consecutive points and winning 19-7. So it's not out of the reach for St. Louis to come back, and of course it's still early, only a 2-0 score.
St. Louis playing with a great deal of confidence. They've got no problem making comebacks and turning up the pressure when they need to.
And now a pushing match right at the top of the arc, involving Huniak himself right in front of the St. Louis goal.
Mike Leposha, the young St. Louis players, he's got the elbow up, protecting himself. A little intimidation there, but Leposha was not going to step down to Goran Huniak, who's a much more experienced player.
And Quincy, Illinois native Ketters now for Kansas City to Haynes with the setup. Oh, and he just missed, going to the left of Jamie Swanner, and finally Leposha trying to clear it free, succeeds to Reiniger, met by 2 Kansas City players, and finally it squirts free. And here is Shane Battelle for St. Louis. Played his first game this season against Cleveland January 8th, but broken up at the Kansas City backfield area, and finally it's wound into midfield.
Joey Reiniger showed us some of that flair a moment ago as he spun through 2 players to get the attack going.
Here is Ketters again, tied up, poked away, and St. Louis Reiniger into the midfield, knocked down on the play, and it looks like we'll have a foul called against the Kansas City Attack. The score, 2-0 Kansas City, and we'll take a break from the Kiel Center. We'll have more play-by-play in just a moment. We are back from Kiel, 2-0 in favor of Kansas City. Reiniger in the Kansas City defensive territory, and the shot going wide of the target. And finally, it's lead to Chantray. Lead pass ahead, but Swanner able to head it away into the St. Louis territory.
Swanner reading the play very well. Wes Wade, still among the fastest players in the entire league, was racing for that loose ball.
Here's Burke's shot. That may have gone off the crossbar and deflected away. And Haynes now back for Kansas City. 1-on-2 into the St. Louis zone. Haynes around the defense, blocked off at the last moment. Good play in the St. Louis zone.
It takes better dribbles than that to beat Chris Kenny in the corner. He stood up Brian Haynes. Brian Haynes is the other Kansas City Attack player, the third player in the top 20 in league scoring, along with Goran Hunyak, the number 9, and Wes Wade, the number 24, and Haynes wears number 13, but he couldn't get past Chris Kenny there.
Once again, Kenny showing his strong play on the back for the St. Louis Ambush with a total of 6:46 to go first quarter, 2-0 in favor of the Kansas City Attack. And Ty, we've talked about it, a tremendous number of players, in fact 100% on this franchise from the city of St. Louis metro area.
It should make us proud, and it goes along with the great soccer tradition that St. Louis is known for nationwide, and the hometown flavor is definitely here at the Kiel Center.
Here's a chance, blocked away at the St. Louis defense. It's high in the air, and finally taken down to the left of Jamie Swanner. Kansas City setting up in a 2-0 lead, and on the right side it goes for Robbie Goff. Plays it into the corner, quick shot, but Swanner able to make the stop to the left wing side and then fires it into midfield. Blocked away, however, and it's taken by Carmaine. Left side pass across for Jeff Rogers. Leaves it free for Goran Hunyak into the St. Louis zone. Hunyak one-on-one against Klein. Able to dish it off to the right of the goal. It's centered now. Rogers blocked away at the last moment. St. Louis clear it, but not out. Finally, Kansas City's Hunyak in on net, trying to center one as the Attack finally able to work it free. St. Louis unable to clear the zone, and it's finally taken by Wade, who's able to drop it off, and Kansas City doing a nice job in the offensive zone.
They've been able to sustain this attack. St. Louis at times has looked a little bit disorganized in terms of their marking and shutting down this Kansas City team as they've kept the Attack alive.
Finally, Groark has no other choice but to play it to Swanner, and he himself fires it down the left side, but the goalkeeper, Westcoat, able to sky it right back. It's headed down, play in the Kansas City zone, long shot, save made by Westcoat on McDaniel from outside, and then Westcoat just hurls it down into St. Louis territory, but Gates is there.
Gates
finally
was shoved.
Yeah, he was, and finally it's cleared into the corner as Westcoat had whipped it right back into St. Louis territory, and now Gates just plays it for his own goalkeeper, Swanner.
A good chance a moment ago by Scott McDaniel. He really struck the ball forcefully, forcing a save out of Westcoat at the near post.
And Kansas City play it with a 2-0 Attack advantage. And play in the midfield as the Attack once more moving free. Here is Fraser, across they score. Good scoring play, I believe, for Eddie Carmaine. And with a total of 4:48 to go in the quarter, it's 4-0 Kansas City.
Eddie Carmaine gets credit for the goal, but Ian Frazier with a sensational run from midfield. He's a defender, but he comes rushing forward with the ball. He knows he's got help on the right. He dishes the ball over to the right side. Carmaine then blasts it into the far upper corner alongside the side netting, but Frazier made it happen, drew at least 3 St. Louis players before dishing the ball off to the side, and a well-placed shot there by Eddie Carmaine.
And Carmaine gives Kansas City the 4-0 advantage. And Ian Fraser, I believe, on the assists in a 4-0 lead.
And correction, it was Brian Lofton with the goal.
And that gives Kansas City, as mentioned, the 4-0 advantage, and I believe the Ambush have called a timeout. And it worked in the previous game against Milwaukee when the Ambush were down 7-2. They called a timeout and came back and picked up the victory. Don't forget the Ambush soccer camps, which will run June 12th through August 18th in 18 area locations. Daryl Duran and Jamie Swanner will participate. For more information, call 241-GOAL. It's 241-GOAL for the Ambush summer camps held throughout the city of St. Louis. So Daryl Duran having some choice words, Ty, for his team, some strategy as well. Can't be pleased with the Kansas City Attack scoring those 2 early tallies.
It's not a great way to start off, but there have been some good things happening, and the Ambush have had some outstanding goal-scoring chances, but they can raise it a level, and they know it. Daryl's not telling them anything that they don't already know. This team has won already 20 games this season, and they know what it takes to win. It's a question of going out and doing it, and I'm sure that's all that Daryl Duran is re-emphasizing.
Well, we'll see if the Ambush can get back here. Kuntz leaves it for Hundelt. And he just pounds it right back into Kansas City territory. Maurer trying to head it free. And Westcote himself able to play it up the right side.
Westcote may have been, or his hands may have been outside that box when he made contact with the ball. A close one to say from here, but there was some protest.
Here's Maurer once more. Poked away at the last moment by the defender Hauser. Loose in front for Maurer, and it's blocked away again. St. Louis Kuntz trying to drive it free also.
Maurer's like a freight train, just cruising through that box, trying to break through and create a goal-scoring opportunity. He's hard to stop once he gets going in the direction of the goal.
And Jamie Swanner with a total this season of 18 victories, able to hold on and leave it free up the left side for Kenny as they play catch.
Now you see Kansas City dropping back into more or less a defensive shell. They have the lead. They can allow St. Louis to come at them. And that way Kansas City can conserve some energy.
And an ambush player knocked down into the Kansas City territory, and St. Louis will take over here in this 4-0 game. Health South Rehabilitation Corporation is the nation's largest healthcare provider in sports medicine, home health, and industrial rehabilitation. Health South, the official sports medicine provider for the St. Louis Ambush. And St. Louis take over in midfield, and Steve Kuntz able to leave it free, but blocked off as his pass a little bit off the mark, Ty, and intercepted in the Kansas City backfield. Kevin Hundelt will try and play it for St. Louis. Haynes, however, takes it away and then leaves it free. It's stolen by Laposha. Then it's kicked away at the Kansas City defense, and St. Louis will have to regroup in midfield. Total of 3:06 to go. First quarter, a Kansas City lead of 4-0. Two two-point tallies, and that's what has given Kansas City the lead.
Yes, St. Louis should be looking for a three-point goal from outside that 45-foot arc. That's the three-point line.
And West
for indoor soccer in the National Professional Soccer League. There you see it, the 45-foot arc, and that would get St. Louis right back into it if they could score from outside of there.
Here's a break free, and Fraser on his shot, just deflecting wide, and here come the ambush back and a break free. And Moser, with that 21-game goal-scoring streak, upended at the last moment, maintains his composure, then knocks down a Kansas City player. Let's see, will there be an offensive foul? I think so.
There was some contact there, but Wes Wade, he's been around these leagues for a long time. He certainly dramatized it a little bit more to look for the call, but you see Moser's hand going up around the collarbone of Wes Wade, and he drops down, and there's the call.
Here is Wade himself, leaves it free on the opposite side for Robbie Goff. Then it's knocked ahead for Ian Fraser. Finally, Reiniger breaks it up with just over 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Leaves a pass way ahead for Moser, but it's up into the stands, a stoppage of play. Well, we have an ambush trivia question, and Ty, what ambush player was the 1985 National High School Player of the Year? And I bet you can't get this.
Well, it's hard to believe it's 10 years ago. I do know who it is, but we'll get back to it in a few minutes.
And we're back to action with Kansas City up and leading by 4 at 4-0. St. Louis now trying control, and Klein leaves it free in the midfield, and a break for Eddie Carme, or for the ambush. Maurer knocked off at the last moment and cleared by Hunyak, and is stopped free in the midfield, and the foul is going to be called against the ambush. And Kansas City back free. Shot deflected away, and finally Hunyak leaves it free on the right side for Tayshawn Trey, and finally it's blocked away at the last moment. And again, another foul called against the ambush.
Ambush, some frustration entering into their play. They've been shut out this entire quarter. Only a minute 22 remaining in this first quarter of play.
And here is Westcote, the goalkeeper, kicks it free. Westcote, by the way, leading the league with the best goals against average, but will not be representing the division in the NPSL All-Star game in Buffalo. His opponent tonight will, Jamie Swanner. Here's a chance, they score again! And I believe it was Jeff Rogers with the left foot. And with just over a minute to go in the quarter, Kansas City striking again. It is 6-0.
Rogers with a nice finish on this play. In fact, he lays it off to Wes Wade and gets it straight back from him on the give and go. A beautifully placed pass by Wes Wade. And it's finished off there, and that comes at a bad time for the St. Louis Ambush. Look at Wes Wade coolly sliding it right down the center of a seam in the St. Louis defense. And then coming off the left foot of Jeff Rogers, he puts it past Jamie Swanner. So less than a minute now left in the quarter, a bad time to give up a goal. And Wes Wade, when I knew him, didn't have that sort of touch on the ball. When he first broke into indoor soccer, he was all speed. Now he has some skill to go with it.
Shane Mattel now on the left side for Hundelt. He maneuvers into the Kansas City zone. Hundelt able to kick it off the boards. It's deflected away and right back to Hundelt. Leaves it for Battelle into midfield. St. Louis trailing 6-0, just 34 seconds to go in the quarter. And the only choice is for Swanner to knock it all the way down, and Westcote able to hold on. So, with just over 20 seconds left, Kansas City just nail it right back into midfield.
Remember, this is a dogfight, essentially, for the conference title. Both of these teams right at the top of the national division of the National Professional Soccer League.
Ambush winning 3 of 4, losing to Kansas City a couple of years ago in the attack. Ty won the NPSL title. Here's a long shot again, and Swanner able to make the save, and that's going to do it. The quarter has concluded, and this St. Louis Ambush trail the Kansas City Attack 6-0. Here from Kiel Center, and Daryl Duran not pleased about what's happened so far. 6-0 our score in favor of Kansas City, and we'll have more from Kiel in just a moment. We are back at Kiel Center, 6-0. The Kansas City Attack lead the St. Louis Ambush. Ty and Daryl Duran can't be pleased. The Ambush shut out in the first quarter. And we're going to go to our trivia question. The answer, Ty, coming up, and St. Louis, and of course, they all are from St. Louis, but Kevin Hundelt, National High School Player of the Year.
Kevin Hundelt, back then, he was a young 18-year-old coming out of St. Thomas Aquinas High School here in North County. He got that national honor. That's a big honor to be the National High School Player of the Year, and he's proven it as a professional. He's currently second in scoring for the Ambush and first in block shots, so a good two-way player and a very valuable player to this Ambush franchise.
He was the team MVP last season, 163 points in his first 2 seasons with St. Louis. As we're back to action early in the quarter, and now it will be a foul on the play, and the goalkeeper, Westcote, will start it up, and now up to midfield now for Kansas City. Tied the attack leading. Any problems here for St. Louis, do you see?
It's much too early to panic. I'm looking right now at the first quarter statistics. The Kansas City Attack outshot the St. Louis Ambush by 12-7.
Here's Klein now on a 3-man break into Kansas City territory. Shoots! And a save made by Westcote. Rebound cleared right through into the penalty area and finally wound right back into the St. Louis backfield, and Swanner himself will set it up for Kenny into midfield.
John Klein nearly snuck one past Westcote just a moment ago, and that's another good two-way player out there for the St. Louis Ambush. He's just as good going forward as he is defending. John Klein, a great hustler out there.
Here is trip shoot now for St. Louis. Ames able to leave it for Klein, however, taken away by Hunyak. And very aggressive on the offense for Kansas City, and Klein just taps it free on the right side, but not out. Held in by Hauser, a shot. That's blocked away, high in the air, and finally headed by St. Louis up for Steve Maurer. Maurer now knocked off the ball momentarily by Hauser, and a beautiful back kick for his own defense.
Little heel flick by Steve Maurer to get himself out of trouble.
Here is Shane Battelle now for St. Louis, leaves it free as the Ambush. Kevin Burke now drops it back for Hundelt. With the 13:26 to go in the second quarter, Ambush have yet to nail down a point here tonight, and Gates and the Kansas City player knocked down.
They nailed Jeff Rogers there. They may not have nailed down any points yet tonight, but Rogers taking the brunt of that late tackle.
Ambush tickets available, of course, throughout the city of St. Louis at all Tickets Now outlets, the Kiel Center box office, and dial text 291-7600. And for groups of 25 or more, call 241-GOAL for more information. We're back to action in St. Louis control here in this second quarter with Kansas City up 6-0. And that's strange, Ty, to have this much time left, or actually early in the second quarter, and the Ambush have yet to score a point. And of course, rare in indoor soccer also for a team to be shut out in any quarter.
That's for sure. And particularly, I thought that the Ambush in the first minute or two of this game looked very good in attack. It looked to be like they were going to get off to a good start, but it has not turned out that way, and right now they're down.
There's a chance in front, and I believe it may have hit the crossbar. Another chance, and Swanner, the save. Loose in front, and finally it's back for Swanner after Gates just about put one in for the Kansas City attack.
Swanner, an all-star goalkeeper for the St. Louis Ambush, and Robbie Goff, he'll be lucky if he didn't hurt himself seriously. I'm sorry, Wes Wade. I was fooled by the ponytail.
Well, they have some interesting hairstyles on this team, don't they?
Watch this, Wes Wade. This is team commitment. He gets his head on that ball, and his body goes flying over the boards then. No hesitation for him to sacrifice his body for his team in this match. And there's a great rivalry at stake here. St. Louis and Kansas City, the I-70 rivalry. It holds true in indoor soccer as well as other sports. And we see these teams playing with a great deal of spirit, and that was a good illustration of it.
Here's a long chance into the Kansas City territory once more, and Westcote just sets it up. So the team's kind of tentative at this particular point, but St. Louis control at midfield, and here is Hundelt for St. Louis. Able to fire a pass across for Moser. One-on-one into the Kansas City zone, blocked off by Goff. Now moves in, trying to make a play, and tipped away, right in front, and Kansas City control.
St. Louis being thwarted in the attack. Plenty of physical play surrounding Mark Moser. He gets all kinds of attention every time he gets the ball, and he should. He's the top scorer on the team. He's got the ball now for St. Louis.
Here's Moser upended, and it looks like we're going to have a penalty, I think, on the play into the Kansas City zone.
Wes Wade and Mark Moser have been going at it for some time. Watch this here. That's actually Robbie Goff defending Moser in from behind. Look at the elbow now thrown by Wes Wade after the play. So the penalty you're looking at is almost an accumulation call in that he had just dumped Moser with the forearm on the previous play. And on the one he's actually given the penalty for, he tripped Moser from behind as Moser tried to shoot.
General American Life Insurance Company, an innovative leader in life and health insurance for individuals and groups. In the General American family of financial services companies, General American, products to value, people to trust. Joe Reiniger on the shootout, in, shoot, scores! Joe Reiniger! And that helps to make it a 6-1 game. Ambush will have a power play, but on the shootout, gives St. Louis their first point of the night.
It breaks the ice. We look at Westcote, who was beaten on the play by Joe Reiniger. Reiniger on the shootout attempt, gives it only one touch, and on the second one, he perfectly places this ball down low into the corner of the net, past the Kansas City goalkeeper, and he's very cool, and he's very much on target. The accuracy is there, and that breaks the ice for the St. Louis Ambush, getting them on the scoreboard. They now trail the Kansas City attack by a score of 6-1, and that was just a one-point goal due to the fact that it came on the shootout situation, resulting from the penalty called on Wes Wade for tripping Mark Moser.
That at 3:17, so the Ambush can gain a second point by scoring on the power play. And here is Reiniger once more at the top of the arc, able to leave it free and then taps it to the right side, and St. Louis just maintain ball possession on the outside. Here is Moser, being watched heavily by Robbie Goff, leaves it for Reiniger, across for Hundelt with 11:06 to go in the quarter. St. Louis on this man advantage chance, trying to get back within 4 as they work up with the man advantage. Reiniger across, and the save made by Westcote on Moser.
It still caught part of the goalpost, I think, after it went off of Westcote.
Here's a pass across, Kuntz scores! Steve Kuntz on the one-timer, and just like that, it's a 6-2 game.
What a great goal by Stevie Kuntz. Took it straight out of the air, and he struck it low. And the ball coming over from Hundelt off the right side, and he bends it in nicely. Look at this, right out of the air, perfect for him. He drives the ball and stretches the far side of the net with a blistering drive. Moser knocks it back out to Hundelt. So 2 first-time passes in a row finished off by Stevie Kuntz.
Kevin Hundelt on the assist, 4:12 the time, 27th goal of the year for Kuntz, and the Ambush now have gained a little bit of momentum.
The stretch man, Stevie Kuntz, he used all of his 6'5" frame to get leverage over that ball and just pounded it into the net. A pretty goal there, well executed all the way around on the power play for the St. Louis Ambush. And Hundelt did an excellent job of relaying that ball over to the far side to Steve Kuntz with a first-time pass, and Kuntz hit it right out of the air.
Well, don't forget, Ted Drew's Frozen Custard is a proud sponsor of the Ambush Ball Toss program. After each Ambush goal, the player who scores the goal tosses a commemorative soft soccer ball to a lucky Ambush fan. The Ambush Ball Toss program is compliments of Ted Drew's Frozen Custard. Visit Ted Drew's Chippewa location for great frozen custard year-round. 10:05 to go in the quarter, 6-2 Kansas City, but the Ambush finally getting on the scoreboard and have cut it to within 4 here in the second quarter.
Boy, and that had to feel good to take a ball out of the air like that and drive it with such power right into the side of the net. Feel good for Stevie Kuntz. He's worked hard out there, and he earned that goal, and Hundelt ably set him up.
Well, Ketter's trying to maneuver free into St. Louis territory, but a foul on the play, and St. Louis will take control.
As we look at Steve Maurer, he's the garbage man out in front of the opposing goal. In fact, on that last power play, he takes up that same position right out in front. He's tied for second in the league with 6 power play goals, Steve Maurer.
Here's a chance now for St. Louis once more, and it is Maurer, but Westcote himself able to hold on. Maurer right causing havoc in front of the Kansas City goalkeeper. And now back the other way comes Wes Wade, poked at the last moment away, and then a Kansas City player upended. But it's going to be an offensive foul against the Kansas City attack, so St. Louis will restart in the backfield.
Steve Keough was tripped, in fact, as he tried to get forward. He's a defender, but he likes to go forward at times, and his legs were cut right out from under him.
From SIU Edwardsville, his collegiate days, Granite City High School for Steve Keough.
And he went a long way from there.
National exposure, didn't he?
Well, not only with the U.S. national team, but Steve Keough is about to take this kick here, played for the U.S. World Cup team in Italy in 1990 at that World Cup. So another St. Louis area World Cupper representing us on the international stage. Steve Keough.
9:19 to go in the quarter. Ambush down 6-2, finally scoring on the power play, and the shootout now will set it up. A wall defense for Kansas City as Hundelt will set up just inside the arc. And here's Hundelt as they try and set it up, and now we'll go, and I believe a penalty coming up on the play against Kansas City, perhaps a misconduct of some sort?
I believe it's for encroachment. The wall they had set up to defend against this free kick by Hundelt did not move back far enough nor quickly enough. Hunyak is claiming that Hundelt should have taken the kick sooner. There's a 5-second limit before they have to take the kick.
Now, I believe they had asked Hundelt to take his time. He was just about ready to start it up, and then
the referee will stop him while he marks off. He'll mark off the proper distance. See the referee trying to mark off the proper distance from the ball, which is 15 feet. He's not getting cooperation. And there's the, exactly, unsportsmanlike conduct is the call, but essentially it's because the Kansas City players refused to get the required 15 feet away from the ball when they were asked to do so by the official.
Well, the score 6-2 Kansas City. We will sort this out and come back in just a moment here at the Kiel Center. On that penalty, will they play short of it? 6-3, the Kansas City attack lead the St. Louis Ambush, but the Ambush have racked off 3 consecutive points and have cut it in half tie after trailing 6-0 a little bit earlier.
It's looking better, and what has really served them well is their special team situation, the man advantage. They've been able to come up with the necessary points to get back into striking distance.
Here's Jeff Rogers shooting it off the backboards, and finally Swanner able to just hurl it all the way down into Kansas City territory. It's blocked away and taken by Quirk. Now into the attack zone. Able to it free in the corner, and finally back comes the attack into midfield. 8.5 minutes to go in the quarter, and St. Louis down 6-3.
Remember now, though, with a 3-point goal from outside the 45-foot arc, the Ambush could tie this game up on one shot. If it's outside the arc, it's a 3-pointer.
Here's a chance now for the Kansas City attack. The shot tray, able to leave it back for his own defense. Bobby Goff, able to knock it free. Louis, 2-on-2. It flies high in the air, and a break for St. Louis. Laposha shoots. Oh, and it's deflected wide. It's loose in front, and Westcote gets a piece, but is stopped, and I believe a foul or a penalty coming up against Kansas City.
Westcote also got a piece of Laposha after Laposha had beaten him to the ball, and he deliberately took out the St. Louis attacker. So there's the ball getting loose in behind the Kansas City defense. Mike Laposha's onto it. He wins the race here, tries to lift it over Westcote. Watch, look at Westcote. Put his arm to detain him and take him out of the play. And that's why you're going to see right now a shootout attempt for the Ambush in a man advantage situation. Kevin Gork hustling to poke it through into the space. Laposha wins the race. Then he's held. He's taken down by Westcote. And the call goes against Kansas City. It'll give the Ambush another chance to close in on the scoreline.
And it's a holding penalty against Westcote. 6:56 the time. And he will serve the penalty tie. And as a result, we have a goalkeeping change for the attack. And it looks like for the Kansas City attack, I believe it's McDaniel. Ken McDaniel will take over, the 23-year-old who started the season in Harrisburg. So he starts cold, a break for Moser, and here we go. In shoots in. The save made by McDaniel. He tried on the rebound, but it stops here. And a good save by the Kansas City goalkeeper. And how about that, Ty? You come in cold, your goalkeeper, your starter gets a penalty, and you make the save.
McDaniel did well. It's not easy to be facing up against Mark Moser, one of the top scorers in the league, and the St. Louis Ambush's leading scorer. But McDaniel did well, dove to his left, and forced the shot wide.
Great story for McDaniel on December 30th when the attack were down against the St. Louis Ambush. McDaniel replaced the starter and came in, and the attack won 15-12, so he's had some success against the Ambush earlier this season and makes the save on the shootout.
Well, perhaps he can inspire his team, but St. Louis now, though, again, on the man advantage situation, they've been able to score the last 2 times that they had the man advantage.
Here is Hundelt now for St. Louis as the Ambush set up. Here's Kuntz, a one-timer, and it's shot way up high. And
tell him to put away the wedge. Get the driver back out.
Okay, we want to thank Soccer Master as a sponsor of the St. Louis Ambush. The World Cup of Soccer Shops is your headquarters for the #1 name in soccer, Adidas. Adidas, the official supplier of the NPSL, is available at all your local Soccer Master locations. To see the full line of Adidas equipment, call 1-800-926-9287 for Soccer Master's full color catalog. And the Ambush control down by 3 in midfield. And Hundelt just drives it free to Kuntz. Heads it back and cleared away. Back in the St. Louis zone where Swanner himself kicks it free. The action heating up again is St. Louis Kuntz now. Drives it cross field for Hundelt, who's able to play it free. Hundelt knocks it into the corner for Kuntz, and another header in for Reiniger to Kuntz. Kuntz now moving free. Centers one, but tipped away. And the attacking number 7 playing free on the right side. And Wade leaves it free across into the St. Louis zone. Fraser in on goal, shoots, scores! Ian Fraser on the break into the St. Louis zone. And a score now of Kansas City 8-3 over the St. Louis Ambush.
And that one hurts because it was a shorthanded goal, and also so far this quarter the Kansas City attack had been shut out, but Wes Wade wins a ball off of Joe Reiniger there along the boards and wisely nips it inside to Ian Fraser, who streaks into the center and then works his way past Jamie Swanner and made it look easy. But this is a shorthanded goal. Fraser, a defender normally, he's out there to defend, but he's a cool veteran, and he puts the ball past Jamie Swanner, making it an 8-3 score for the Kansas City attack over the St. Louis Ambush. And Fraser does not score a lot of goals, but that was an important one there.
And Fraser, defender from Burlington, Ontario gets the attack, that shorthanded tally. But St. Louis intercept. Here's a chance to score. Mark Moser steals it right away at the Kansas City defense. And with 6:54 to go in the quarter, the ambush strike and cut it to 8-4.
And strike Mark Moser did no hesitation whatsoever to pull the trigger, and he's pretty far out as he takes it. The ambush, of course, in the man advantage situation, though, so even though he may have hit it, actually hit it just inside that 45-foot arc, it's only a 1-point goal, making it 8-4 now. The ambush are behind, but Haynes loses the ball, and on his second touch, Moser blasts it underneath McDaniel. Basically just used velocity and power to get the ball past McDaniel.
The backpack to the Kosha now, tied up at the last moment by Ketters. It squirts free, and Kenny able to control for St. Louis. So slowly but surely, even after that short-handed goal, the ambush are able to come back. Here's Kenny's shot blocked away. And finally, it's recovered on the left side by Eddie Carmaine, who just clears it all the way down into the St. Louis zone. 6.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Kansas City 8 and St. Louis 4. As we are here at the beautiful Kiel Center, glad you've joined us here tonight. Ambush soccer as we head down towards the tail end of the season. And Swanner able to knock it free to the Kansas City zone. St. Louis take over. Upended, knocked down by two Kansas City defenders. Looks up and has some words for a Kansas City player right inside that yellow line.
Ketters was following him from behind. In fact, stepped on John Klein's ankle, and then stepping from the other side to finish off the sandwich was Brian Haynes. And Brian Haynes very fortunate that he's not given a 2-minute penalty because that was a bad foul.
Here's the cross-field pass across, but a stoppage, and I believe we'll restart it with 6:03 to go in the quarter. Nice story in the Post-Dispatch about John Klein, and he gets evidently called Kevin Klein a few times.
Well, he attended the same high school in West County as the actor Kevin Klein, Priory High School.
Here's a shot, Reiniger scores! Joe Reiniger. Westcote feels he was interfered with, I think, in front. Nonetheless, a scoring play. It's a three-pointer and an 8-7 Kansas City lead.
Looks like an instant replay from the other night against Milwaukee. Reiniger fools everybody looking to pass. Instead, he slots it to the near side. Westcote is completely screened. And again, excellent placement, incredible placement on the left-footed shot by Reiniger. But he has accuracy. And he can just fine-tune that left foot to put it just inside the post. And he caught everyone napping. They're thinking that the wall is covering that, and that he's going to have to play it to the far side. Instead, he snuck it past on the near side.
Here's a break again for the Post. Fires Westcote, the save, and cleared away. And Kansas City back for Rogers into the St. Louis territory. Left side pass across, and Swanner easily able to make the save on Huniak, who really didn't get a lot on it.
Obviously, three-point goals are huge. This is a completely different game now. A moment ago, we were looking at an 8-4 Kansas City advantage, and now it's 8-7.
Here's a chance for Mauer now. In, shoots. Westcote the save. A couple of Kansas City players were looking up to see if there was a foul going to be called, but play continues. Hundelt now into the attack zone. Knocked down. To keep it going, it was unbelievable the way he was able to maintain that ball possession.
Hundelt,
knocked on the play.
Beautiful skill exhibited there by Kevin Hundelt, and really an innovative little play. And there's a payback there. Hundelt's going to get a penalty for that one.
He took the shot. It was blocked by Rogers, who's down now, and now pushing and shoving into midfield.
Some ugly stuff going on out there, and I will say this, it's been very hard fought. I do think that the Kansas City team, and I've been out there on that field, I know what it's like. I think the Kansas City team escalated it, and really what you're seeing from Kevin Hundelt, he had enough of it, and that's his way of putting a stop to it. Either that or it's going to get worse, but the officials need to clamp down on it. Really a vicious payback foul by Hundelt, but I won't say it's totally undeserved for Kansas City in that they had gone after him a couple minutes ago.
Well, it's a tripping call at 9:53 against Hundelt. Kansas City will have a power play.
That's a mild description. Yeah. Hundelt wound up and kicked him as he had been kicked on 2 or 3 of the last plays deliberately. And this was deliberate as well.
Well, Goran Hunyak will take the shootout for Kansas City as Rogers and Westcote talking things over, but the shootout situation will take place. Rogers really upset about that.
Well, he could have been seriously injured, but so could have Hundelt on a couple of the previous plays. That's the payback.
Here's Hunyak for a shot. It's off the goal post, I believe, as he was able to drive it towards Swanner, but it cranked off the post.
Swanner cut the angle well, and Hunyak was just off target as he tried to put it around Swanner. Here's the view from Jamie Swanner. He's facing down the #3 scorer in the entire league. He goes out to cut the angle, and that ball is just glancing off the outside of the post.
You know, we saw it in the game against Milwaukee. Jamie Swanner comes way out immediately and forces that shooter to take an immediate shot.
He's extremely quick off his line to get out there and confront the shooter.
Well, Milwaukee now Kansas City can still gain that 1 point on this power play, missing the opportunity on the first chance, and Haynes' shot blocked away. Kuntz and Klein in the vicinity. I believe Kuntz got his leg on it to deflect it up into the stands.
He may have with his long legs, although I thought it was John Klein with the block, but both of them very courageously defending the goal with their bodies here in the defensive wall. There'll be another chance here for Kansas City. Just 5 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the half. Ambush trailing by 1 point, 8-7.
Look at that size differential with Kuntz and Klein. You can really tell on that wall.
Klein's not that short either. John's got to be at least 5'9".
If I was Wade, you shoot it over Klein. Looks a little easier, doesn't it? Here's a chance right on. Swanner to save, they score. He got a piece of it. It appeared, and then
unlucky for Jamie
Swanner.
Swanner. Unlucky because very rarely does he misplay a ball, and he would admit there that he did misplay it. Here's Wade with some deception, laying it sideways, and there it is. Look at him swat at it, and he goes to reach the second time for it. It's not quite there. Chris Kenny trying to clear it off the line, but he was there too late. And a little misplay there by Jamie Swanner, but the guy's had a sensational evening. You can't really blame him if one freak play happens to go against him.
Well, they're giving the goal to Ian Fraser, his 9th of the year, 9:58 the time, an unassisted tally, and Kansas City up 9-7, but only 1 point because of the power play situation. They had failed to score in the shootout.
They had the penalty advantage. Surprised they don't give Wes Wade an assist on that one, except that maybe they're counting it almost as an own goal because Swanner put it in.
There's Kuntz now moving free, but his own end is Haynes, and then finally it's cleared by Kansas City up over the glass and up and thrown right back on with a total of 4:40 to go in the quarter. And don't forget, Ambush merchandise available at the Kiel Center Slapshot store by calling 241-GOAL. Talked about the great colors, the teal and black of the St. Louis Ambush tie, and very reasonable, the Ambush merchandise.
Wear it proudly. This team is among the top teams in the league.
Here's Hundelt now on the setup. Shoots just off the crossbar, I believe. It's loose in front in Westcote. Now able to cover up for Kansas City and just fires it down into midfield.
That would have been a nifty goal from Hundelt because there was no power on it. It was all surprise and placement.
Little blooper.
He narrowly missed it. He had everybody fooled.
Here's Kansas City playing it right back at Hundelt. Able to leave it for Reinecker. Ahead for Gates and a stop now into midfield. Klein feels he was upended and St. Louis will restart it.
It was a dangerous tackle by Deschantrette. Klein luckily got himself partially out of the way, or he might have been headed for the hospital.
And here is Kevin Hundelt, able to just pound it right back into the Kansas City zone. Kuntz tries to make a play, and finally back the other way, Kansas City. Lead pass across for Hunyak. Very dangerous, second in scoring last year for this team. Comes it free across for Wade. Wade now trying to maneuver three, but blocked away. Actually, second for Baltimore in the NPSL. And St. Louis back the other way. Here's Klein. Shoots, he just missed. Going for the left side. A chance now for St. Louis. The Posha gets a piece and blocked away again by Westcote. Very honestly, it's not right back in the midfield.
Very intelligent play there by Leposha to play the ball to himself off the boards, and he narrowly missed scoring.
Here's a chance now for Leposha. In the center, they score! And St. Louis, I believe, have tied it up on the centering pass. McDaniel, I think, got a piece, and a 9-9 standoff. What a comeback by the St. Louis Ambush.
Great shift Right there for Michael Posha. He sets up Scott McDonald. Look at the work in the corner and the spin move here very quickly gets into the open and then clips the ball right across the goal mouth and right there at the right place at the right time is Scotty McDonald out of St. Louis University. He's starting to prove himself as an indoor professional. And Posha should get most of the credit for this goal as well as John Klein there, who was able to leave a path for the crossing pass as he detained Robbie Goff.
It is McDaniel from the Posha at 11:30. The Ambush, who were down 6-0, have outscored Kansas City now 9-3 over the last 12 points.
Well, remember at the end of the first quarter, St. Louis had been blanked 6-0, so a bit of a turnaround, no question, here in this second quarter for the St. Louis Ambush.
And we are now in a standoff as Kansas City will set up Kevin Ketters. And there's a ball in the St. Louis zone. They drop it back, and the shot going over top by Robbie Goff on the one-timer.
Here's some good work in the corner by Michael Posha, holding the defender off, spinning quickly. He knows if he gets the ball to the back post, somebody should be there. McDaniel's there. John Klein cleared the path for it. Trishy was also there. So it was really good placement of players in the penalty area around the Kansas City goal that resulted in that tying goal for the St. Louis Ambush.
And St. Louis now in the Kansas City zone. They'll try and set up, and Kenny trying to make a play, but it's cleared away on the left side of the break for Ketters. In for Haynes. Haynes shoots, and that's headed away by St. Louis, and Rourke leaves it for Swanner.
Kevin Gorch, a hard worker, came back to defend there.
Now St. Louis trying to maneuver free again. Here is Moser being tied up, still able to gain possession. Watched by the defender Hauser, and finally Haynes, Moser, and Hauser still fighting. Finally St. Louis, Kuntz knocked down, gets back up in a foul.
When Steve Kuntz goes down, it's a long way down. He's 6'5". Robbie Goff means business. You can see the intensity on his face. He's a defender for Kansas City.
Here's a drive, they score! Great setup for Moser, and with 2:28 to go in the quarter, it looked like they were going to pass it back. Moser came out of nowhere to strike it home. 2:28 to go in the quarter. St. Louis 11, Kansas City 9.
St. Louis takes the lead for the first time. Excellent understanding here between Reiniger and Moser with that powerful left foot nearly breaks the net with it. Reiniger, look at the perfect angle and pace to the pass right into the path of the run of Moser, and Moser pounds it home.
We talked about his scoring streak earlier. A hat trick now for him in this game, and the Ambush have a 2-point lead.
That is Mark Moser's 11th hat trick of the season, the leading scorer for the St. Louis Ambush.
Mark Moser has been terrific, 28 years of age, played back with the St. Louis Storm, and has been a mainstay for the St. Louis Ambush since it's joined the league a couple of years ago. Back down, right at the yellow line, into St. Louis territory.
And that last goal moves Mark Moser, I believe, up into the top 5 in scoring in the NPSL. Look at Steve Maurer, another important defensive weapon for St. Louis, but there's Mark Moser. He's turned this game around with some help, obviously, on the setup from Joe Reiniger on that last one. The Ambush have gone into the lead for the first time, 11-9, with just less than 2 minutes.
St. Louis take control of the Hughes. Kuntz on a 3-man break. Left side for Reiniger, closing in. Centers one in front. Owen Kuntz deflects it over top, and the Ambush playing great in the offensive zone.
Joe Reiniger, again, the one trying to create the chance for his offensive teammate. That time it was Maurer, but the ball had a funny topspin, a little bit of a bad hop on it, so Maurer was not able to get it down and on target. It would have been a nice goal.
18-8, the shots on goal in this quarter tie, and you wonder why it's 11-9 St. Louis?
Well, remember, the first quarter was dominated by Kansas City offensively in the goal-scoring department as well as in shots. They outshot the Ambush 12-7 in the first quarter, so the Ambush have turned it around.
And here's play in midfield. Ambush trying to make a play. It is finally taken by Deschantrette. He is knocked down in a foul against the St. Louis Ambush. Here's Deschantrette moving in on goal. But the play had been whistled down anyway, and
they're going to bring it back.
A little excited.
Well, they have to take the kick from where the foul actually took place, and they were well ahead of that, so the ball's brought back to be taken correctly.
Here is Ketters, leaves it free for Goff as Kansas City trying to flip it in front. In this 11-9 game, late in the quarter with St. Louis leading, and finally it's cleared for Gates. Gates leads it across, but broken up at the last moment.
1 minute left in the half.
And then Goff just knocked off the ball by St. Louis Gates. No foul even.
Hammered by Gates.
No doubt, and the play continues, however. Here's a chance for Ketter's blocked away. Maurer able to leave it free, and St. Louis Swanner able to just throw it all the way down.
There's a physical war going out there at the moment. See who can take the upper hand in this game, because remember, early on it was all Kansas City. St. Louis now has got back into it. Now it's physical play to see who can continue to dominate.
Tough to determine whether they have penalties in this sport, let alone the fouls which have taken place in this game. Here's a chance, and it's knocked over top with 20 seconds to go in the quarter.
Called a handball there against Rogers. A good call, as he did handle the ball. So the ambush will have a free kick.
And Swanner will take over. Ty, the handballs, obviously very rare in this game. The players know it, but sometimes you can't help it.
Well, sometimes it's a player trying to take advantage, see if he can get away with it. The delivered handball is the correct call, is a foul going the other way.
Here's a chance now, and going wide of the target, and that's it. The buzzer sounds signaling the end of the quarter, and the St. Louis Ambush score 11 points. They outscore Kansas City 11-3 in the quarter and lead after 2, 11-9. That's our story at halftime. We'll come back with more, including an interview with Darryl Duran in just a moment.